There's two sizes, the caliber. The Excalibur, Sword in the Stone. That's what you have? I got you. Okay. All right, hopefully we're going to be able to catch some carp here. So far, it's actually been decent, the bite rate. If it gets too slow or if we're not getting better, decent sized fish, we're going to go check out Sura at some point. Nice razor. Yeah, between two calibers and one steelhead, you've got a good setup for making good silver, especially like trolling around Volkov or Corey or whatever. But you could definitely carp fish with those two calibers. Absolutely, you could do that. That's great, Worm. Wild carp and sturgeon. Are you just using night crawlers, Worm, or have you been doing anything else? I know most people have just been saying use night crawlers there, but I didn't know if any boilies were working or any of the other like rare baits. Okay, rhino. Have you tried the 8-meter hole? I hear a lot of sterlet coming out of the 8-meter right now. Not that I'd probably rather go for sturgeon. Wild carp are a little bit of a drag unless they get really big, but you'll try that later. Yeah, I'd heard both is pretty good right now, so I just was kind of indecisive on which one I wanted to try first, but we'll see. Sounds like you're saying the 7.5 is fun though. Before we go for sturgeon, we'll change especially our first two lines, we'll change them back to being a little bit overloaded because the carp here at Bear aren't quite as big and there's not as far to run as it is at Amber. I kind of backed it off just to do a little less damage to the reel. We're really just kind of fishing with line that matches perfectly with our reels right now. What makes Bear spots even better, I feel like, is when you do occasionally catch Black Carp. The XP and silver is a little better, so when it's an active spot for Black Carp, that's even better. And I think the weekly Black Carps are at Bear. Yep, and they are on some of the similar baits, so they must be occasionally biting either here or somewhere. But those are some nice Black Carp that have been caught on the weekly so far. Look at all those potatoes and honey dough. What a difference between the US server and the all around. Wow. We could throw potatoes in, I don't know. They grow large, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if you look at absolute records on all the different carp, there's some massive fish in this game. So, common carp get up to what, 85 pounds. Common ghost carp about the same. Where was the black carp? So what are we looking at there? Almost 100-pound black carp. And there's some nice, yeah, look at this frame-sided carp. Over 100 pounds. There should be really big leather. Yep, leathers, we're talking about 130-pound leather carp. Linear's really big as well. Mirror, 100-pound plus. There are some massive carp in this game. And this is one of the prettiest fish in the game. Starvis red carp. Now, a lot of those are from amber, but they grow them big here at Bear as well. Is that black? Nope, that's a common. Saw that like darker pattern on its face. You know, I may switch this third line out here in a minute and just put like carp ground bait and potatoes on there for a little bit. Because really on like a leveling account, or if you're not quite as high a level with PVA and all that, sometimes the best thing to do at Bear is to use baits like potato, honey dough, throw some carp mix on there. Oh, I have no idea, Razor. This is the first time I fished Bear. Maybe in a month or two. There was a time that Bear was pretty hot that I spent a couple days here. But I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't even venture a guess. Right now they're a little small, so we're not going to get a huge average at the moment, but people have been catching trophies out of this spot. So it can get really good. I think with higher level fish, carp included, you're looking for spots that'll average 200 silver an hour. And then when they're really hot, they'll go well above that. But that's what you're looking like for a baseline, I would say. LaSalle Gamer. LaSalle Gamer. I don't know. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Welcome to the stream. 4450 has been hot. Good. That's what I'm hearing. That is what I'm hearing. Yeah, I do have pretty strong gear though, Razor. It won't be the same as fighting it on a little lower level gear, but it'd still be fun. Catch a big one. I'm curious, what are the weeklies on Golden Tench? Because if whatever Golden Tench you're biting is also, oh, so is this stuff as well? Interesting. Okay. So there's a chance with tench as well as carp. That is interesting. Golden tench. Common, black, and golden tench. Yeah, that's when a bear spot is good. When black carp are mixed in, that's definitely a good sign. Oh yeah, I would still get... Yeah, for sure, Gravy. I'm sure that was a fight. I would still get stamina drain, but that's primarily because of the mass of the rod. It's 422 grams. I mean, it's a big, heavy feeder rod, carp rod. So you're going to lose some energy, even though the reel's got plenty of strength to... Oh, are you talking about the stamina of the fish? You're talking about stamina draining the fish, aren't you? If it's a trophy, I would say on my first and maybe even my second rig, it might be possible just to reel them straight in super aggressive, but that's a kind of a dangerous way to go. It's a good way to pop one off. I would say I would choose to sort of fight him a little bit and not aggressively fight against him when he's doing his long runs. Certainly on my third rig, if I caught a trophy common or a big grassy or something like that, it's going to be a little bit of a fight, yeah. Yeah, but not always for long, Wrangler. Not always for long. I think it depends on, I mean, not all fish fight the same too, right? And some trophy carp are bigger than other trophies. Depends on the species. But you're right. Usually a trophy is going to be pretty... It'll be a noticeable difference than the average fish. But it's not the same as like back in the day if you're using the Gold 80 and you hit a huge carp. and you're actually having to like fight it for an hour or something. You don't typically have to do that on the biggest gear. 3 to 5 minutes, that's probably true. You've had a 10 kilo grassy fight like a 20. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, even on smaller fish species like trophy bream, you know, I've had them where they're fighting so hard you think you have gotten a carp on there or something. And then other trophy bream that just like come right in, you know, have very little fight to them with the same strength line or reel. So not every fish is the same, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's not about the weight of the fish, it's about the strength of their fight, right? Oh, somebody's caught a nice common. 16 kilo. That tail whip, exactly. Getting a little bigger. I think we're out of dip. I think we've got to change over to the other dip that we have. You've had more fun on telly lately. Didn't splurge on a UL, but you got a nice kingfisher. Oh, nice. I saw the, I don't remember what it's called. Is it called a trophy telestick? There was one of them that was like on sale right now, right? And it gives you like a bonus of 100% XP or something. Is that in the ultralight category? Bonus to fix line? That's cool. It is UL? Okay. Yeah, I don't really have much of a collection of tele rods. I do have a couple of match rods. I'm just starting to get into match rod fishing, and I've enjoyed it, but I'm saving for other stuff right now before I eventually would like to have some match rods that I could actually like aggressively go after carp with, but not there yet. I really, one of these days, need to focus spin fishing because I want to get up to the point of being able to use the jerkbait stuff, but we're still 7.2% away. Fish on. Get that dip on there. Coco's nectar. Yeah, ultralight gear can be quite expensive, can it? I have one decent ultralight setup. It's the Cardina, Heaven Creek Cardina with the Trident pillar on there. I have to be careful though because the load capacity of this is really low compared to the reel. So technically, and I often forget this, but technically I should be using like, I don't know, I don't even have any appropriate line, like maybe 5 kilo line on here. It's just not the ideal setup, to be honest. Yeah, and if nothing else, I guess I could put a 5 kilo leader on here. I don't know. Your UL is spinning, yeah. All my points for spin fishing is into the bait casting stuff, so. All right, I think I want to, well, I'll tell you what, let's get through the night on the current baits we have, and then maybe once it hits daytime again, look at these tiny commons. It's kind of gross. Have you tried out the jerk fishing yet? I'm excited about trying that out. Alright, so we'll keep this as is for now. And then once it's daytime again, I think I'm going to try just going like potatoes with carp ground bait and see what happens. Yeah, me too. I'm missing points as well. Is that right? How fun was that? Was that pretty cool? See, that's what I want to do. Eventually. Oh, at Corey. Aren't pike weeklies often at Ladoga? I guess Corey's where they're at right now, huh? The Flying Log. Gravy, thanks for the follow. Maybe these carp are going to get a little bigger now that it's nighttime. Or getting to be nighttime. The bite rate's suddenly picking up. Another common. A Model 1 jerk with the black box. Oh, that sounds like a fun combination. Wow. That sounds like a fun combination. Oh, that third reel's getting line pulled out. I think the best way to level your skills up, well, I guess the number one way is to use your happy hour. The second best way to level your skills up is don't worry about leveling your skills up. Just fish and forget about it. They'll come eventually. I got to 100% bottom fishing without even realizing I was at 100% bottom fishing. But that's just like all I did, you know, I just did a lot of bottom fishing. You want to put the steelness on there? So that Model 1 jerk rod has got plenty of room to grow with, huh? Those jerk rods have got to be strong. Yeah, I never did that when I leveled mine up, Razor. I just fished with what I wanted to fish with, and the points eventually come. $38 kilos, gotcha. Do 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 do. Hey, we've caught some common carp. Fish on. You gotta be careful. This is one of those that I'll just pull it right out of the fish's mouth if I'm not careful. You can just feel it. It's ready to pop off. It's vibrating. Yeah, that's either a leather or mirror, right? Yeah, that's a juicy one. All right, good night. Thanks for hanging out. I think we have a grass carp over here. It's my first impression. Only reason why I say that is because it's right now like on the other side of bear. Trying to get away. No, it's common, isn't it? It's just a little sneaky common carp. And that's without PVA on this one. No. Sweet dough will work for white bream right now, but bream aren't really biting on sweet dough much. They're biting on pearl barley though. Just use pearl barley, my friend. What's your in-game name, Gravy? Are you in our chat right now? Oh, there's a Black Carp. And look at this, no PVA. That's what we want. We want to catch as many blacks as we can. So nice. Alright, you're a Doris. I'll send you a little garlic dough if you want. Well, in case you want to try out the garlic dough, I'll send a little bit to you. What's up, Jimmy Rust? Garlic dough. You trying to float fish for bream? That has never really worked for me, although I haven't tried it much. But people do it. Yeah, the bite rate has been quite nice, even without PVA, which is a good sign. So many folks haven't unlocked PVA yet. It's nice when it's working without it. Did I send that? Like, did that even send? Yeah, okay. But honestly, pearl barley's been working almost as good as garlic dough recently. They've both been really good on bream at Berg. For sure, Gravy. No problem, Jimmy Rust. Thanks for checking out the videos. I appreciate it. There's another black, isn't it? Or is that grass? I think it's grass carp. Yeah, it's just a grass. It's a decent one, though. It's a pretty nice spot right now, guys. It's not bad at all. Oh crap, I never sold. I had a fish I didn't sell earlier? That's funny. 5 hours and 26 minutes old. So in 41 minutes, we've got a decent amount of carp. It's not bad. Trying to hook a big zander or cat at night, maybe a few chubs. Yeah, spin fishing can be a little weird at night sometimes, can't it? There have been times at Volkov where there's been some really hot zander spots where even at night you're catching them really good. But it's not always that way. I think zander do tend to be active at night if it's a good spot, but oh yeah, you can definitely do more at Volkov at night spin fishing than Corey, right? Corey always feels so, at least when I've done it, it always felt discouraging to try to spin fish at night. Yeah, catfish definitely bite at night. Zander too, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it seems like if you're not trying to catch catfish, then you'll just hook into them all the time. But I do feel like if you're targeting them, you're probably best targeting them at night. Yeah, and I have never actively tried to catch catfish. It's always been something I wasn't trying to do when I've caught them. But there's a lot of people who like are targeting catfish these days, trying to get those big trophies and records, which is really cool. It's just not something I've done. I might wait for those heavy bait casters to come out before I get into that nonsense. Y'all excited? So some nice land there to try feeder fish. I just hope feeder fishing is like I hope it is you know, a thing like worth doing there. I don't mind doing some spin fishing, but I also want there to be like good feeder fishing. It's always sort of sad when there's a map and it's like no bottom fishing for me to do. Will it be a level 30 lake? I don't think any of us know yet. I don't think we hardly know any information, right? We're just speculating at this point. I was trying to see like what I could find out about it in terms of in real life, what kind of fishing is popular at this river. So there really was a meteor that hit this area? I thought somebody was kidding on I thought Cohen was kidding about on that comment on YouTube, but there really was, huh? It exploded in the air? Really? You like the lakes better than the rivers, Wrangler? I mean, I've always liked that, but that's just typically because there's a lot more bottom feeder fishing at lakes, usually. Tunga River. How can I get some information here? Ooh. You know what the #1 site came up when I typed in Tunga River fishing? A fly fishing site. Is this where we get fly fishing? For reals, though? The Tunguska River is a big and slow river. It has very few riffles and it has sandy bottoms. The most numerous fish was sawbelly, surface-feeding small cyprinid fish. This is a 3-lipped, small, strange-looking predator fish from the Amur. Catfish is very strong in this river. Interesting. May 22nd for what is PP4? What's up, Zigga? But even that is just speculation, right, Zigga? It's just people speculating. Hey, that's a nice looking fish. It's a decent looking common. $13 kilos. We'll take it. Why would the game come out for the birthday of the map I use? So it looks like there might be taimen in this river, which of course we've seen before. I mean, not a lot comes up when you try to look at fishing on the Tunguska River, at least that I'm seeing. I don't really know what that means. The trophy taimen will finally be caught? Maybe. What's the absolute taimen that's been caught to this point? That's just at Belaya, right? Oh, they can get way bigger than that in real life, right? 39 kilos. Oh, 40 kilo is a trophy? That's funny. That's funny. They're saving the trophy for another river, huh? Two on at the same time. This one's pulling pretty hard. Let's grab it. Early morning, the bites are picking up again. You'll watch people go to the new river, but you won't fish it at first? Oh, I'll fish it day one. See what it's all about. You know, I'm really wanting to save for the Tagara, but it depends on the timing of when that river comes out. We may need a little silver. I mean, especially if they introduce something like fly fishing. Who knows, but... I think if it's going to be fly fishing, we'll hear before it comes out. Because that'd be a big deal. I suspect it won't be fly fishing, but if, you know, it's the kind of map that if they were going to introduce fly fishing, it would probably make sense on that map. So if they don't introduce it for this map, I say fly fishing's still a long way off. I really like the way that Simmons blue mono line looks. That's funny. Pike. Oh, look at that. Maximum experience on a tiny little fish. Over 8K experience for that little donuts rough. Wow. You got a nice trout on, Razor. All right, if I can remember, next fish we're switching third line to potatoes and carp ground bait. There's another nice one. Unless this is like a black carp or a golden tench. If that's the case, I'll keep the same stuff on. But if it's just another common, we're going to switch to potatoes on this one. It's a nice common, but... Alright, so what do we do here? Loop? Since we want to use potatoes, we either do loop or inline. Holy camoles. Got points in both. I think I'll do loop. It's a nice fish. Yes, Amar. Unfortunately, that game always felt a little awkward on mouse and keyboard, which is part of why I hate the interface, is because it's obviously designed for a controller, and it's just not very good. Oh, no blitz. Yeah, I had one of those in my in a leveling video a while back. Finally got him, but it took forever. I had to really angle it weird. So look, this is like not a very big grass carp. and it was absolutely refusing to come in on the Megara. Yeah, I wasn't pushing it, but still, it was a nice little pull. Fishing Planet? Yeah, no, we're not talking about Fishing Planet. We're talking about Professional Fit, whatever the heck that game is called. Can't even remember right now. All right, let's go to Loop Rig here. Fishing Sim World Pro Tour. Thanks, Amar. Actually, you know what? I think I want... For Loop Rig, I think I just want like a Ultra. And we're going to do potatoes. We are going to put ground bait on there, though. Let's do one of these new fancy Simmons. What's on this special ground bait? Oh, that's weird. That's weird. What's on this stuff? That's also a little weird. What's on Bleacher's old stuff? Okay, let's just put, oh, honey carp. See, that could work good right now because they're going nuts for honey. Honey pear stuff. That might be worth trying. Let's start off just with carp mix. And just kind of go from there. I gotta take a quick bio break. But I will be right back. Don't let any carp steal my gear, please. It's not a good sign when you come back and you only have 2 rods instead of 3. Yeah, the career thing is like one of the few cool things about that game. Those like built-in tournaments against AI and all that, but I don't know. That actually took a little bit of line out, didn't it? Whatever it is. Yeah, Gravy. There is nothing worse than being on the PS4 and trying to navigate those frickin' shop menus and everything on Fishing Planet. Back when I tried to play that with my son on the PS4, we were both playing it together and stuff. It was brutal. We bought more on accident than we did on purpose. It's a nice common. It was spooling the reel. Alright, first fish on potatoes with regular carp ground bait. Ah, that's not a common. It's not a marker, but it's not a common. Guess what? We just caught some pieces of fish. Two pieces of fish. And of course, that's the downside of potatoes. You'll have usually a pretty good bite rate at bear with potatoes if it's a decent spot, but man, you have to sort of wade through some smaller fish. Nice salmon there, Razor. That is a big old Atlantic salmon. Very nice. Look, potatoes are going off again. It'll probably be a 500 gram crucian, but we're catching fish. Are we though? Level 37. 3 rare trophies. Now that's not fair. I called it. It is tiny. The only thing that would be okay is if it was a crucian. I called it all the way. And it's almost the same size I called too. That's gross. Alright, I think we should go try Sura pretty soon. Let's give this a little bit more time, then let's go see how Sura's looking. I haven't fished at Sura in ages. I wish we'd gotten a couple more Black Carp. Other than that, this has been good, though. So far, so good. The floating lantern. Never leave home on your camping trip without it. Well, the Black Carps just help. And really, if there's a nice percentage of like leathers and mirrors, that helps too. But the Black Carp are really decent XP in silver, typically. There's kind of like a more rare variety, you know, of a grass carp. So when a spot has Black Carp in it like this one does, it increases your XP and silver per hour. But before we sell fish, I'll try to remember to look at, like, to sort it by weight and do some comparisons on, like, similar size leather and commons and grass and all that. It's been a while since I've looked at it, so I don't remember exactly how they line up, but Can you climb trees at Bear? Or is that just at Old Berg? Oh, that one feels like you might get a little lift on it, maybe? Maybe not. Yes, there are trees you can climb. These are the things you find out if you do a lot of feeder fishing, because, you know, you're just hanging out, waiting. You climb trees. Well, we're on the crucians with these potatoes, I tell you what. We have got the crucians nailed down. This will be fun, though. When we get here on my leveling account with the leveling series, if we make it this far, it'll be a lot of fun to try to do this. Figure out how to hit some big carp on small gear. Are crucians the perch of feeder fishing? I guess some people would argue that common roach are the perch of feeder fishing. But really, nothing's as bad as perch, right? I mean, it's just not the same. Because you can have like a really nice crucian gibble spot and just like get a lot of trophies, and it's still a lot of fun. I've never had a lot of fun targeting perch, you know? We should start doing that. We should start posting really nice perch spots on the forum and the Discord channel. I like that habit. Just put a picture of Quarry Lake on there. Found a really nice hot spot for perch. Quarry Lake. Hey, nice sturgeon, Wrangler. Alright, one or two more fish, then we'll head over to Sura. This is like the slower part of the day anyway. Last night, Wrangler, I pulled out a sturgeon on in ice lakes. Scared me to death. I don't know how it fit through that little hole. We need to hit this, we need to go to Ladoga and hit this friction brake. Top off the grease while we're doing it. Not immediately, but we're getting there. Same thing, friction brake. The Megara is going to need the mech before too long as well. But nothing's too critical yet. Of course, the problem with this Everest too is replacing that spool is going to be a nightmare. But it's fine because I'll have the Tagara before I need to worry about that. Yeah, I'll try to wait till 20 to 30%. Yeah, I will. But I do want to keep the friction brake and grease from getting too far along. That's funny, Big Worm. Okay, 376 silver. That's not bad. Okay, so where's the comparisons we can do? So a 5 kilo common carp. Well, so like a 7 kilo common carp, basically a 7 kilo leather. The leather's worth 4 more silver. The black carp is worth 5 more silver, even though it's a little smaller. Grass carp to common carp, about equal. On that size at least. If you get bigger, it's still about equal. Leather's worth a lot more. Leather's even worth more than the common carp, even though it's 7 pounds lighter. Am I going the wrong way? It's just south of camp, right? Here they be. All right. We are Sura bound. Okay, so does anyone know any good ground bait? For Sura, or are we doing it without ground bait? I'm sorry, not ground bait, but PVA. Well, there's one. That looks like the pretty common sturgeon PVA. Okay, I'll just use that. Well, I think I've still got some pretty basic sturgeon PVA. All right, so we want to go to, let's see, we're using night crawlers. So again, same kind of thing. Do we want to go loop rig or inline? Oh, basic bottom, really? I guess that's a good point. Since we're just doing night crawlers. Alright, we're going to go with a little bit overloaded, huh? We'll go 36. You like 1-0 hooks? Am I doing sturgeon or sterlet first? I guess I'll do sturgeon first. How much sturgeon stuff do I have? I've got some. Yeah, that's fine. Pretty sure I have. Alright, I guess let's go ahead and get down there and put them out. bigger sterlet are still at Octuba, huh? There must be a pretty good sturgeon spot at Octuba right now, too. You need a sterlet. I hear they're at the 8.5 meter hole, right? Or the 8 meter? $41,108. Is that where the sterlet are? I just honestly don't want to catch a Russian sturgeon on my on this rod at all. Oh, is 41,108? Is that the spot at Octuba? I'm guessing. Okay. I don't know what else would be. It seems like back in the day, sometimes like if you have a smaller rig, like redworm is okay out of this hole. I don't know. This is actually the spot where I caught my blue tag common roach back in the day. Nice big worm. That is not what we want to catch here. This is old school Sura. But the question is, like, legitimate one. Why, other than not being high enough level to go to Octuba, why fish this spot versus one of those sturgeon spots at Octuba? Unless it's really better. Is that right, Big Worm? They nerfed sturgeon by 10%? Like in the XP it was worth and stuff? We're going to have to push the button again. So you like braid here, huh? Because I guess if you hit a really big one, keeps you in the fight longer, huh? Is that what you put on your Vingas, Big Worm? That is some big line. You're a part of the Max Drag Club. I like it. I mean, I guess if you're going for sturgeon, I just never go for sturgeon, so I don't really know what I'm getting into. What's up, Reavers? How'd fishing go for you, Reavers? Dadgum carp. Do you really have a rocket jet, Big Worm? Yeah. That's a burbot. I like it. Yeah. That's your catfish reel, huh? Dashlore, thanks for the follow. Wait, oh, 2 7-kilo grass carp on your bolo rods? Yeah, that is an ouch. That is an ouch. Well, the wild carp are biting. For what it's worth. Alright. I don't even know what the strongest leader I have is, though. I think the strongest leader I have is 36. Is there really reason to put... I mean, I guess braid's going to give me more line on it, right? The diameter is 0.38 versus 0.7. That's a huge difference, isn't it? Okay. What is Ultima Forever? What are you talking about, Big Worm? They don't have anywhere to run to. Whatever that small fish was, it jumped off. Oh, is that's a casting rod? Thanks, Wrangler. Oh, I undercast that. Oh, nope, it made it. It just shows you how far I've been overcasting before. Oh, crap. I did not mean to do that. I knew I was going to screw up that bite as soon as I picked it up. Hopefully it'll stay with it. 180 kilo casting rod. Dang. Oh, 42. Still, that's sick. Alright, it's still on there. That reminds you Reavers was fishing today? Yeah. Oh, is that right? Dang. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of catfish. What's up, Xander? I am dialed in on catching Xander on ice lakes, by the way. No problem there. Drock called in a trophy cat in 15 minutes. Well, because of the wild carp, at least the bite rate's not super slow. Oh, he does have proof, Reavers. There is proof. Yeah, I know what you did today, Amar. I know what you did today. Nah, it's been good, Big Worm. We've made some adjustments with my job, so we've mostly been doing telehealth from home. So really just had a lot of good time hanging out with the family and still working, and it's been good. How are you? You staying safe? I mean, I hope there's a fish on. If not, the current has taken my, I don't know. Hey, this actually might be a sturgeon. It's probably just another wild carp, but... So you were furloughed, Big Worm? That sucks. Okay, cool. Some good daddy-daughter time. That is another wild carp. Very good. That's very good. Ate half your house? If we cast straight across, are we still in the hole? Oh yeah, totally. I don't really believe y'all that there's sturgeon in this hole right now. Well. It's pretty cool that burbot are biting on the same baits that sturgeon are. If the sturgeon are still biting. It's nice to catch some burbot out here. But I would like to see a sturgeon every once in a while. It's another wild carp. Problem with wild carp, they're just not worth anything, right? Yeah, if as long as I'll occasionally see sturgeon here, the nice thing about this spot is at least it kind of keeps you doing something. And you're just using night crawlers, so cheap bait. Although my first two lines do have the sturgeon PVA on there, so I guess that's a little pricey. Maybe I should go try the stirlet hole. I heard something about that big worm. I haven't looked at it closely. I played that back in the day, though. They're doing 1 and 2 together, right? Or something like that. That's pretty cool. Hey, nice bream on the float there, Adoris. Cross-platform, interesting. Is that a Oh, that's not coming to Steam, right? That's coming to that thing that I can't remember the name of right now. Hey, good night, Razor Freak. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Let's hope it is a burbot or a sturgeon. Not another wild carp. Absolutely. My pleasure. It's a nice strong pull. Does not make me think of burbot, but we'll see. I think it's on the Epic launcher. I think I saw something that they're advertising it now on the Epic launcher. But I could be right. I could be confusing that with something else. It is, in fact, another wild bream. I mean, wild bream. When are they going to put wild bream in? That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, I think GTA 5 is free right now, isn't it? I heard or read something about that. Is it not already? Isn't that like the mystery game that they released for free? You play GTA Online, Big Worm? Yeah, there will be an influx of new players, I guess. No worries, Big Worm. I can read it in game. Level 300. Wow. Do you ever stream yourself playing that? I says they were saying 7.5 hole is where the sturgeon were. So this is the 8-meter hole. Do you have to take yeah, I guess you go to a boat, right? Do you cast from over here into the 8-meter hole? I don't even know if I have the energy to go down there. You didn't stream until RF4 and then you killed your PC? Where are you fishing at, Wrangler? Are you here? $41 one. Oh, you're at Octuba. This is confirmed a wild carp spot right now. It's not even worth putting TVA on right now. Are you doing the same thing we were doing the other night, Wrangler, with mole crickets and mostly mole crickets, right? Mole crickets and river mussels. Yeah, it's a big wild carp. Nothing on river mussels. I just know that spot can be really slow at times. I don't know if I'm up for that. The slowness of it. But I'm also not really up for this anymore either. Like, this is too much wild carp. Too much wild carp. Was that you, Dashlore, that caught that bream? Y'all gonna have to teach me how to float fish for bream one day. Have you tried that eastern bream spot, Wrangler, or are you just doing sturgeon all night? I guess you're just doing sturgeon because I haven't seen eastern bream popping up. And I think that eastern bream spot moved anyway, right? I think there's a new one that's even better, or a couple of them. That's funny, Big Worm. Yeah, I probably should have stood a stayed a bear. Bear was actually pretty fun tonight. That spot's pretty good. There's no wild carp at Sura. Come on. Trophy Xander. Another 100 silver and hardly anything. You can make silver fast if you can get on hot spots at some of these higher lakes, but I mean, we spent 22 minutes here and we got 100 silver. I guess the nice thing about that spot is that we were getting a lot of action with the wild carp, but I just would want to see sturgeon mixed in every once in a while, just to be more fun. Over 10,000. Over 10,000. That's a big sitchel. All right. I think I'm going to call it there for tonight. I'm going to try to stream again tomorrow night, guys. I really appreciate you all being here. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to either just fish at Bear tomorrow night or Amber, or we'll find another good spot. Maybe we'll do a leveling hour as well. But it has been really great to be here with you. Float stream. No. Am I going to play Ice Lakes later? Maybe. I might, Wrangler. We can talk to Amar and see what everybody's up to. I'm definitely having fun chilling.